Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're back here for some Apothecary Diaries episodes 21 and 22 I believe. Getting very close to the end of season 2. And yeah, excited to see where we're going. We're kind of really right smack bang in the middle of an arc that's still evolving and stuff. So yeah, I'm keen to see more. I'm keen to see how it goes. There we have the YouTube comments, probably that one initially, with the first comment here from Molly. And it's one of these ones with both points where I think we're probably edging just slightly towards a little bit spoilery. I think there's a better way to frame it if you want me to go back and look at stuff for certain information that may or may not be there. Again, I'm a pretty spoiler sensitive person, so I might be nitpicking a little bit here, but I feel like there's a better way to reveal to me that Loulan may potentially still be pregnant. I don't know, just my 2 cents. Like, this part's good. Maybe, hey, with regards to something, maybe watch certain parts of the scenes again. Maybe say, watch Loulan closely again during the festival scene or something, and you may see something akin to this. And for the record, I've gone back through the episode and all the Loulan scenes there, and if I'm thinking what you're thinking is the scene, it's pretty subtle. I think it's the part where she eats the middle of the lantern fruit seed plant thing. Like, again, because Mama's about to say something about courtesans and it being used in the Rare Palace and something. And then she kind of gets cut off and then, yeah, again, I know, and then eating the thing, hiding her eyes with the mask. It's either that or she has a wistful line in the middle of the episode as well when they're burning the masks about, again, insects never surviving the winter, only leaving their children behind. That may be pretty pointed considering it's a wintry scene outside. She could have a, kid on the horizon. She may see the futility in whatever they're doing. I don't know. I've got another life that I need to be, trying to take care of and trying to look out for. Again, that could be the line there too. Or it's something I just completely missed. And I don't know. If it's pertinent to the plot, I'll pick it up eventually and then we can circle back around to when that information was foreshadowed / revealed. And for this one, the second one, I just don't see that at all. Like, I mean, I've rewatched the scene. Some very sensual holding of Mao Mao's hair, apparently. I don't know, they've always kind of been touchy-feely. Again, I see this, so I'm like, you probably know what you're talking about when it comes to that subject. But, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's not the vibe I got at all. Now, one thing I will say about the hairpin is she still had the hairpin in during the scene in the kind of storeroom where she confronted Shenmei. So did Shenmei see that Mao Mao had one of the hair sticks of her daughter in her hair? That probably indicates that they're closer than they're letting on, and probably, I don't know, I'd be suspicious that, again, you're not who you say you are and you're not actually, you didn't actually develop the immortality potion or whatever the hell. That may come to the fore. It may be like, oh, I've known you were not who you said you were the entire time, I guess. And just another thing in general, what's the word? I talk rhetorically a lot in episodes. Just because I say something aloud doesn't mean I believe it and will always believe it. I'm willing and able to change my mind on things. So even if I'm being misled in one moment, potentially I still come around and understand it by the very end. If that makes any sense. I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't know. I feel like this is spoilery, isn't it? Right? I don't know. I guess we'll see when it all comes out in the wash. Next comment here from Highly Calm, just kind of talking about the manga adaptation and how, again, they used it for reference for season 1, use the light novels for most of the stuff this season, so they're kind of already past that stuff, so I was misinformed there. And again, 16 light novels, 6 more seasons. That's a long story, man. Again, just hold your horses. Not many shows get 6 seasons, I'll say that. Now, this was the stuff I was looking for, and this is assurance enough. I like this. I kind of get the vibe that I'm playing with the right puzzle pieces, but I don't have them in the right order yet, I guess. Because when you're doing like a big 1,000-piece puzzle or something, and, you need to break it down piecemeal. So, like, this girl might have a pink dress on, so I'm going to put all the pink pieces in the corner over here. I don't quite have the pieces into the dress yet, but I at least have all the pink pieces in the right corner, and I'm aware it's a puzzle. It's something that is confusing. It's not me getting confused by it. It's meant to be an objective interest, I guess. Again, there's some nice confirmations. I enjoy that. And last comment here today from Kelvin, just kind of reiterating the stuff about the Lacan stuff in Discord that was mentioned to me. Again, going back to season 1, where that stuff was first kind of foreshadowed. And again, I hate to be pedantic about it, but I feel like that's the blueprint for if, you know, you want to tell me something or tell me to go back and relook at something, right? Just potentially something like, hey, go back to this episode, this time code, see if you can't see anything going on. See, that was an important scene. You didn't see it as important at the time, but potentially go back and have another look. And then, again, I can even record that. It can become part of the content. Anyway, I may be a little bit short today, too, because I didn't get much sleep, and I was very hungover. So I don't know. Again, we're going to take a... We're just watching the episodes here today, too. We're going to come back tomorrow. Either way, Patreon, if you want to see the finale 1 week early, it'll be the next one up there. Also, there will be a poll. Please suggest things for the poll as well if you're a patron. Like, that's going to come soon, right? And again, if you aren't a patron, or if you are, there will be a poll next week, I guess. So be aware. Again, if you're watching this publicly, the poll should be out. Or out very soon. So, again, keep that in mind. Anyway, Patreon, thank you. Thank you to Mickey Babbers, AJ, Bananaram Hamadama-sama, Capella, Choberibi, Copley, Dapper Dwarf, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Flirt Nightingale, Fruit, Fusel, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Guanal, Gus N, Hans Peter, I'm Mildly Anxious, Ika, Iwayuru, Yanko Yavnan, Jami Boo, Joran, Kasogtha, Kelvin, Clem, Noster, Cot Begemot, Lick H, Lou, Marco San, Miru, Mistake L Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Aussie, Parnek, Pencil Sharp 333, Ron Lad B&K, Saint Lily, Sam1373, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Waifu Overdose, Without a Net, Yuki Ali, Zach, Akumansa, Bin Shi, Voodoo Chili, and Aiden O'Brien. Thank you to everybody for giving me money. I enjoy the money. There's a lot to set up. Jinshi's on the move. That was kind of our... Like, he's going to be stepping up into his role and leading the charge against the rebellion. The rebellion holds Mau Mau. They're under the false pretense that Mau Mau is working as an apothecary for them, supposedly unaware of what's going on. But again, that's just Shenmei. Sudere kind of knows some stuff. Fucking Loulan knows some stuff. There's the stuff with the kid and the mom. There's all the reveals. Like, the Sure stuff's still super weird. The relationship there between Shenmei and her. Lacan's doing Lacan stuff. There's way too much to summarize. We're, again, right in the middle of it, man. We're right in the thick of it. I can't even imagine watching this thing 1 episode a week. That would have been insane to keep up with everything, for sure. So anyway, I think the best thing to do is just to start. Let's jump in here with episode 21 of the Apothecary Diaries Season 2. Let's do that. Radio, episode 21, up there ready to go. 24 minutes flat on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. I have the Crunchyroll version. Should be similar to any other official stuff on Crunchyroll. If not, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Just want to double check here while I'm here. Subtitles? Yes. Good. Wonderful. Fantastic. Apothecary Diaries, we're here. We're going to get out ahead of it right now. I think I said it early in the video already. Super hungover this morning. Holy shit. I'm feeling better now, but I might be a bit behind the 8 ball. Not a lot of sleep. Hungover. All the qualifiers in the world for what I may say or do. And for the record, I don't hold my liquor as well as Mau Mau. It was bad. Boy, boy. She would probably have some good remedy there too, if I'm honest. Should have called her up. Tell you what, I miss all the Rear Palace people. Bit of a voice crack there too. That's pretty bad. I haven't seen all, you know, Jade Pavilion people in ages, or Shalan, or any of them. Bit sad. Okay, hello, freak. Loulan. Yeah? What you got for me? Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, we keep talking about this previous apothecary too. Unfortunately, I don't think such a thing exists. But anyway. I'm gonna try. Okay. What a spy. I have big question marks about the passing of time in this show, man. Days. Alright, this stupid kid again. No, he's alright. He's just a kid. Yeah, that same smell you smelt from the womb? The womb. The room from before? Okay, no, it's Faithers. Okay, there's some explodey stuff, maybe. Gunpowder? Oh. A little note. A wire. Oh. What was the plan? I didn't do a thing. Me, Mau Mau, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't mean it's nice of him, but what's the... You gotta think a few steps ahead after starting the plan, right? I was just testing the guard. Okay. Thank you, Sure. Being a bro. Sure. Oh! No! Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, she doesn't look that jazzed about it. What's going on there? So is she on drugs? Like, what's going on? She will kill you. She finally got the nails going too. It's very interesting for Sure. Never seen her this, like, passive. And then, yeah, Mum doesn't care. Don't trust her. The water chamber. Yeah, I mean, I'd kill her. Hey, Mama, why don't you say it's an immortality potion and then it's just like bleach? Drink this. Oh! Our hero. I like that. Very important moment here. I'm trying to clock Loulan here. Time for the water. Is this where the last guy ended up? She's gotta die. Also, what is this like a... It's like a fan or something she's beating everybody with. Blood? Ah! What is she doing? No way! Yeah, I got the metaphor, yeah. You're not subtle. Well, yeah, I thought that was the indicator too. Yeah. You're both being... I want to see you. What is it, Tai Bon? Snake? Kasure's gone mad. Alright, Loulan's clearly got a plan, right? Hollow the water chamber. That's fire. I think it's a torture device. I think you're gonna get tortured, Mau Mau. Oh, it is a snake. We know that Mau Mau's chill around snakes. Yeah. By a mad king from ancient times. Oh, other creepy crawlies too. Oh, okay, so that's also explaining the Sure thing. Yeah, good point. Like, this has probably happened to her before. What are you gonna do with those? Did you make a fire or something? Mama's cooking? Hell yeah. What's the circle on the ground? Oh, this guard guy's kind of chill. Oh, the torch, of course. That's how you're getting the fire. Okay. What is this? Yeah, but what's the little charm? Oh, well, fuck. It's the gunpowder again, or... There you go. Okay, bye. Alright. I trust Mau Mau. Yeah, a few interesting things there. Obviously that we did the Taibon stuff in place of the water, which would have killed Mau Mau. So it's like, ooh, that's how Loulan assisted. What an unethical place to work. Don't bring the fire in here? Yes, boss. Give me the fucking money. Alright, I think she's being chill. I think she's being nice. Ah. Okay. As long as you're confident, I'm fucking not. Jesus. And obviously she doesn't know that Mau Mau's in here. Cool fire. Come on. Upsy daisy. I mean, bit of speed on the play. Yeah, I mean, it is in the process of exploding. Explain. Explain. Explain way harder. Colors are pretty. Okay, so Mau Mau's sticking around too. I know. She's been doing that a lot this episode. Just sticking around. I kind of got hot water thrown at me and beaten if I didn't dress her up right. Explain. I'm literally doing the opposite of that. I was helping. Holy fuck. So she's gonna die soon, right? Okay. Whipping her hair back and forth? Okay. I'm gonna give myself free reign there. I had no chance of getting that. Yeah, I mean, that part I knew, just not the how. I mean, that was a very quick scene that explained a lot. I know about a dancing ghost. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that was implied. Mm-hmm. Continue. Ooh. Interesting. Me neither, man. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, yeah, I clearly don't like Loulan as, like, what that name implies either. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that tracks too. So it was the plant too. Gotcha. Here's this fucking kid again. Kyo. Ah. Is he fucking dead? Oh, hell no. Oh, no. There's hella dead kids in here. Yeah. This has gone from 0 to fucking 100 real quick. Child murderer. Yeah, so. Yeah. What? I mean, I understand. I understand why, but I also don't understand why. I thought that was a Vine boom. An episode? What the fuck? This is the most insane episode of my life. It was almost too much. It was the pace. The pace. It was frightening. None of that shit would have happened if that fucking if Cure didn't do what he did. Yeah, I will have a lot to say about that episode, I feel. And probably, again, I'm not... It's insane. It was an insane episode, and I'm not sure... 70% positive on it? Probably 30% not so positive. I feel like, again, I had all these theories, basically in a 7-minute stretch there, where Loulan was just talking. We confirmed like a bunch of them. And disproved others. Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand up. I don't think I had any chance of getting the Sure thing. Like, holy shit. Timing is so weird. Like, how old certain people are, I guess. Yeah. Anyway. I kind of, again, from the very start, I almost saw the Loulan as the new Mother Royal type thing. Or at least, again, trying to put her to somewhere in power. Fun stuff with the makeup. Yeah. It's just a lot. It's an insane amount of content. Alright, war was declared. Epic. Yo. The Royal Guard up next. Yeah, we'll dive straight into episode 22. And yeah, episode 22, up there ready to go. 24 minutes flat on this one. Crunchyroll version, picture-in-picture in the description below. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio? 3, 2, 1, go. So here's another thing as well. Again, we kind of talked about it before. There's a lot of light novels in this thing. Where does the story even go at a certain point? Like, does that Mao Mao Jinshi thing progress? Again, these are all rhetorical questions. Please don't answer them. I'm just a little bit flabbergasted because, to my knowledge currently, what we're doing solves things. Like, a lot of things. Yeah, like, I don't see where the lingering... Yeah, kind of going from season 1 into season 2. We knew that Loulan was still kind of there. Sure was at large. A few other things were mysterious. Again, the Jinchi eunuch thing. I feel like a lot of that stuff, a lot of the bumbling away stuff has been solved in the narrative. It really makes me feel potentially like a last episode this season may just set up a bunch of new plot threads or something. That could definitely be a direction. Yeah, right? I know. Yeah, but the time in the Rear Palace changed her. And again, who cares? She seems like a real cunt, I'm gonna be honest. He's just a little bitch, too. Insects are tasty, too. Explain. Oh yeah, G. Yeah, again, I'm very similar to Sure. Well, I mean, yeah. She's not involved, but she's related. Wait, no, she's... You know what I mean. She's involved, she's not related. I remember that one. I thought that, again, that was the implication before, too. I was thinking about that, let's put it that way. Yeah, but say that. There we go. Yes, Mau Mau. It's time. Music's killer, too. Don't you fucking dare. Run away with me. I guess you got me? Over my head. Twice now. We're breaking it down. Or not, okay. I will see you again. Yeah, you're gonna get way too many. Pointed line? So, I wonder. Wonder if Jinchi's gonna see her. Just an idea. We'll see, though. It's heavily... I think we're implying that she's just gonna fucking cark it and go down with the ship. And again, the reason why she brought Mau Mau there is so Mau Mau could save the kids, right? Or maybe I just fucking completely misinterpreted it. I don't know. Again, it's... Honestly, maybe structurally... This would have been better if I stopped after that first episode and just had a look through the... Yeah, look through it first. Alright, see, he's keeping him in line. That's good. Chest? Watch where you're looking. Hence the abacus, too. This guy's a fucking nerd. And straight. Maybe? Is it straight to say I wish you were born a girl? Probably not. Indeed. Ample sulfur. What'd you call me? Smart man. We have some fucking mortar. Helm's Deep. I remember in Helm's Deep when they shot cannons. What a nerd. Well, I mean, a lot of their gunpowder already kind of blew up, so... It's not honorable. It's not the proper way. Damn. Okay. I've been trying to. The Fire Lancers. Oh, he's funny. Is this fucking douchebag? Sure. Whatever gets you going, I guess. Jesus. So this just kind of fell in his lap, eh? I see. But I blew up the city. Nah. Yes, slap a bitch. Yeah, no, she's gone mad with power. I love it. Trapped in the closet? Get his ass. Sure. Okay. This is all fucking happening. I get the feeling you're going to see me return tomorrow with an extensive Google document where we can break this all down a little bit slower. Yeah, cool. We set off an avalanche. Based. Here they come. But they're already here. Oh, he's cool. Yo! That looks awesome. Where are we? Yeah, still got a little bit. They did the old wraparound. He kind of looks cool. I'm liking it. He's always practicing with the sword too. I remember. You misunderstand. That would inspire me. He's very different. I mean, if the tactics work, the tactics work. That's all I'm trying to say. Explain. Oh, yeah. It'll drown him out. Flush him out. Yeah, we're well aware of that. Damn. It does look a lot like him, though. Yeah, he's not reasonable. Hey. I mean, can't really hide from it anymore, right? Sup? It's only it's only snake blood. Oh, good for her. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you like almost got there like 14 times. He's struggling to keep it all together too. Don't leave Lihaku here. The Giga Chad. Yeah, that's me. It's a long story. Oh, he threw his back out? Oh, hell nah. Is he reading between the lines here? Because I just realized as well, obviously. Yeah, he'll love that. What kind of face could that have possibly been? Oh, dog. Okay, bye. I'll do my job in turn. Cool. So for those lost, well, maybe I'm the lost one. I was lost for a long time, but I think I found the truth. I'm like, why isn't Mama helping them? Why isn't she getting the poison out of the system? Au contraire. The poison is that resurrection potion. So again, those kids are going to wake up in however long in a burial not too far away, and again, that's when we'll let them go, and they will survive. Because here's the thing about this show. I don't think it's dark enough to just kill off a bunch of kids, especially kids that we like have become endeared to and stuff. I just don't think that's the show's tone. So again, I was very skeptical that those kids were dead basically the entire time, and again, that's how that clicks and makes sense. I don't think there's a few interesting things there. The Emperor asking Shisho to do that is interesting, or the late Emperor, I guess. And then I'm trying to put together timeline. Basically my mistake there was that there was a generation in the middle that I didn't consider. That kind of made everything make sense. Sick. What about a next time on? Cool. Shisho, Jinchi, gun, flashback. A long-needed flashback, I will say, too. Yeah. He probably sees the hairpin there. Yeah, he probably ends up seeing the hairpin there. We'll see. Yeah. Analysis upcoming. You'll see me tomorrow. I'll probably come in with a big old Google Doc where we've set everything straight. I feel like that's what'll happen. Because again, if I was to be slightly critical, I think the information reveal there was a little bit too quick. So, I don't know. Again, room for improvement. I don't know. Again, I'm not. You got to do what you got to do. I don't know how you make it better though. Yeah. It's a big old mess. It's a mess over there, man. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now. And we're back. It's the next day, and I've had a little bit of time to reflect on the episodes and write some notes, much like I said I was going to. And I think this is going to take a lot of the me re-experiencing the information reveal in time and getting confused stuff out of this, because I've essentially rewatched these episodes again and written like a good summary of what I think is the go. Therefore, once we get into actually talking about the episodes, I can talk about how that information is presented in a little bit more of an informative way rather than just being an informational recap. Hopefully, again, that'll also shorten the video and shorten the amount of editing because I won't need to be constantly stopping and starting and reading lines and everything. So, should work good. That's the reason why I do this. I feel like it makes... I should do this more. I feel like it makes the content better. I really do. I don't know. It's always an element of time, as always. Either way, I've got Family Tree. This is coming hot off the presses of this stuff up here. Let's disregard all of that. We're starting fresh. We're starting fresh with a new Family Tree here. It's very similar. I was missing a generation. That's essentially my take on this, right? So, late Emperor loves children. A little bit too much. So, he has a kid with a woman that's very young. That's Taiho. That would explain timeline-wise why late Emperor's been dead for 6 years, and why she only just died now, and I guess that's all in the realm of possibility. But anyway, that's not important. That was way back in the day. That was a very, very long time ago. So that's when, I believe, this is where it gets a little bit hazy. Taiho, I believe, is in the rear palace the entire time, but there's a line of dialogue that contradicts that in this episode. I don't know if that's a mistranslation or what, because I thought her whole thing was she'll probably never leave the rear palace. That was the line from Anshi during her little speech way earlier. Anyway, some doctor now has Surei's mother, who is the child, right? At the request of the late Emperor, Shisho takes Surei's mother, the resulting child there, that is Surei. That was the thing that was... It wasn't fitting for me. I just needed to... Because I knew that the late Emperor and Shisho was involved by what people were saying. I'm like, how does that make any sense? Well, this is how that makes sense. And I'll get into all the fun stuff and the tragedy there of what kind of Shisho asks for back in return, but this is where the kind of state of the game is at now. I also believe it's mentioned that Surei's mother was killed by Shenmei, probably in a similar way to the way she's torturing Surei herself. So yeah, that tracks. I accidentally killed her, or, accidentally. Next one's pretty straightforward. Shisho plus Shenmei equals Loulan. Loulan is the perfect little doll that we can manipulate to, do all of Shenmei's schemes. And Kyo, that's basically confirmed now that his mother's over there. That whole debauchery thing's going on. It's strange. He was never related. It was an Onesan in so much as it's an older female person that I've seen around the same houses, because mum's essentially a groupie. She just chills and smokes and fucks and does whatever. Does whatever she wants. Cool mother. Good job. Great. We'll get into the fun stuff about kind of the reason why Shenmei wants to corrupt these women as well, which is interesting to unpack, especially based off her time in the Rear Palace. I also understand that a flashback episode for her is coming up very shortly, so we'll probably go into all of that again, and her motivations there within. Immortality potion tied into that as well. That's all clearly just connecting for me. She's she's not all there, kind of mentally, let's say. And she may have some pretty good reasons why, not that we're excusing anything that she has done. Anyway, circling back around to Shisho, so the tragedy here is that the only reason Shenmei got out of the Rear Palace at all is because of Shisho's deal with the late emperor. So essentially, Shenmei went to Rear Palace at probably a pretty young age. Again, I don't know, we'll get into a lot of that stuff. I wouldn't imagine that the emperor... Well, not young enough for the emperor, maybe. Maybe that's the complex there within. And she's kind of trapped there as just like a, senior lady in waiting. We've seen plenty of them in the show. Without a chance of ever being the special one, kind of just being like one of these people in reserve, never being able to find like a love, so to say, as well. There's the Shisho connection to it all too, but is the Shisho connection really cynical insofar as it's only because of Shisho's bloodline? That's another weird one. We'll unpack that as well, probably next week. But yeah, Shenmei's having a rough time. She's essentially in prison. Shisho says, hey, I'm going to do this thing for you, Emperor, but you got to let her out as well. So he kind of has to cheat on his wife with Surei's mother for Shenmei to be let out. Now, my question is, for some reason, this cannot be explained to Shenmei, or she refuses to listen. I'm going to think it's the latter. It probably goes a little bit deeper, mentally not all there, can't really process this. Even in being let out of the Rear Palace, my one person that I still had in waiting in Shisho is kind of also adulterous. He didn't choose me, so to say. Again, probably Surei's mother there's probably younger too. That may add into the complex. It's just, for some reason she can't understand the reason why Shisho did these things, and Shisho's kind of meek and reserved and can't really press this forward anyway. So Shenmei's dominating the family, basically. Either way, Shenmei clearly feels scorned by her time in the Rear Palace. This is then the motivation behind the actions in the Rear Palace in the now, right? With Shenmei as the mastermind, Shisho and Loulan were placed in the Rear Palace to make a power grab, with Loulan becoming the next Mother Royal. That's the idea. We're coming back for the lot. We want everything. We want to be... we're going to place somebody on the throne, so we're gonna try to take over the country. It's insane. It's an insane plan. It's never going to work, and I kind of talk about that here in a second as well. It almost feels in a lot of ways like the Empress Mother's manipulations of the late Emperor as well, right? We're putting this young person and all our eggs in this one basket, and kind of there's this domineering mother figure behind it all, kind of pulling the strings, de facto leader. If I can put my doll in place and make her essentially the leader, then I can lead through her, by proxy. Again, insane. This is never going to work. Never. Okay, so this informs all of the decisions/motivations around the Rear Palace at this time, i.e. the assassination attempts on Jinshi through Surei. Makes a lot of sense now. Again, he's one of the next in line. We know that. He's going to be a target. Maybe I can't unpack that till now for some reason. It's odd. Obviously, the abortion drugs are coming into this as well, trying to get Gyokyo with that kind of stuff. Probably Leafa being targeted too. Even again, cynically looking back in the day to some of this other stuff that happened as well. Kidnappings. I wanted to question Mao Mao again. Did they just bring Mao Mao along because she was figuring it out? So it's like, okay, no, we can't leave her here. We need to kidnap her. Is that the only motivation? Because if so, that's funny. You're too much trouble. You've clearly almost figured this shit out. Let's stage something whereby I'm going to kill Surei and then... Or not Surei. I'm going to kill Shisui and then... I don't know, we're just going to take you along. That rings really weird now that all the motivations are out. Again, I was saying we're targeting Jinshi type idea, but that's not what ended up happening. Loulan's actions are now clear as well. She was pregnant and she was taking the abortion drugs, the abortive properties there within, to stop this plan from even happening, secretly behind Shenmei's back. Again, I don't want to be a pawn in your game in this way, and I'm trying to take the poisons that you've put in this place to prevent me from doing that. That's all kinds of deep. I think that's really, really cool. That's clearly what the lantern plant thing going on was when she was eating that a couple of episodes ago. There's a lot of indicators if you want to go back early in the season to what's actually going on under the hood here. Now, Shenmei again, clearly delusional if she thinks any of this is going to work. I think this is obvious. There's such a tone in this 2-episode chunk of the last days before an invading force comes in and you know, takes us all out. It's very debaucherous, very... Some of the stories out of World War II, out of certain parts of the world, if you know, you know. Clearly not that extreme, but yeah, like, we're going to party till the world ends type vibe, and as toxic and as damaging as that is, I feel. Again, the narrative clearly knows that none of this is going to work as well, and Shenmei is too deep, too far gone. She kind of has to believe. It's giving cult leader too. It's giving, like, you know, when... like, cult leaders, they're getting discovered, blah 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 blah, we're gonna, like, figure you out, and then we like get everybody to kill themselves, or, you know, you start getting desperate and making these, like, really rash, really damaging calls, and that's kind of feels like where we're at. It's really not a good place to be for anybody involved. It's to the point where Loulan is the only one thinking correctly, and is the only one wanting to save people. Shenmei's brought all of us down. I need to reverse my sins, I need to take pride, I need to stand up for myself and reverse all these actions that I've kind of been complicit to this entire time. That's also this call out to Shisho as well. Take responsibility, stand up, be the leader of the Shi clan or whatever the hell. Hey, buddy, do something, because I'm doing something. Look at me doing stuff. Shisho's been characterized as being, again, very weak-willed, very meek, I feel. So it'll be fun to see if we turn that on its head by the very end here. And we really emphasize this line. Not only the soldiers will die, not only Shenmei will die, everybody will die. All that Fox Village, they're going to die. All the people and the kids that are here at the Stronghold, they're going to die too. Women, children, everybody. I need to stop this as Loulan. Really, really heroic actions from her in this 2-episode chunk. Again, that's why she poisoned the kids. Now, again, I hope I'm right, but I think she poisoned the kids with the resurrection potion, right? So Mao Mao now knows this and gets Lee Haku to put them in a place where they can just wake up and hopefully get out of there. In that way, we've saved the kids by poisoning them. That great dichotomy stuff in the Apothecary Diaries. As I said yesterday as well, I don't feel like the show is dark enough to just kill a bunch of kids. So, yeah, I feel like we saved them. Same thing with exploiting the gunpowder. Like, hey, if us ourselves have been unarmed, it may make it a little bit... It may prevent loss of life on the other side. It may make them a little bit more lenient towards us and all that kind of stuff. There's also a great fuck you to my mum with it all as well, so yeah, it's probably involved. Again, every step of the way she's making decisions to save as many lives as possible from her abusive mother, facing her down and confronting her in the process. This scene is still in the middle of occurring. We've saved Sure, Shisho do something, and then we kind of cut to Jinshi and he does all the Jinshi stuff. That's not even talking about the, like, Mao Mao now knows that Jinshi's important. In obvious terms, which doesn't even feel like close to the most important thing in this episode, or these 2 episodes. So, yeah, that's essentially where I'm standing on things. I hope I'm right. We're going to rewatch the episodes and reread the dialogue regardless, but I'm pretty sure I'm there. If I'm going to talk structure, I reckon next episode is basically the conclusion of this arc. We're going to get that Shenmei flashback. I'm imagining she's going to have a little bit more of a sympathetic motivation than what has been demonstrated thus far. And again, whatever happens there happens. I would not be surprised to see Loulan die. And again, I'm using Loulan. I should be using Shisui because she likes it more. That was a great scene too. Yeah, I'm going to imagine that she might die, which is sad. No, but also, again, there's so much indication that she will live and give back that hairpin. That hairpin important because Jinshi may see it and then realize, oh, Mao Mao gave you hairpin. That means connection. Something akin to that, I don't know. Sure will live, pretty obviously. She's got way more to do, I feel. Shenmei dies. Shisho dies, maybe? Probably. And yeah, I mean, hopefully we save as many lives as possible. Hopefully it doesn't just end in slaughter, in bloodshed. And then again, episode 24 will then be set up for the next season, I feel. Anyway, let's go back through those 2 episodes because there was some cool stuff in them that has not been mentioned in me blabbing about it in the here and now. Yeah, again, I find this very helpful. If I was to be broadly critical of the 2-episode chunk, I feel like this arc overall, really, I feel like information reveal could have been better and a little bit more spread out. There is a chunk in episode 21 where kind of Shisui just kind of explains things to Mao Mao for like 8 minutes straight on a kind of staircase when I feel there's also a time pressure to the situation. It just doesn't fit right for me. Like, we need to be... I don't know how we do it, but we need to manufacture a situation that's less tense and less immediate in the moment for them to start talking about this stuff, for it to feel a little bit better. A few moments also of the production not being stellar. I feel like they nailed the scenes that needed to be nailed, though, so sure. Another larger criticism of the show overall would be its display of the passing of time, I think, is on the side of being poor. Again, as I've said before, I'd like some lower third saying date, time, and potentially a bit more of a narrator saying, hey, this was a long time ago. This was even longer ago. I don't know, something like that. Maybe that's too hand-holdy. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe it works better in a book format when that stuff can be established a little bit better. A lot of this stuff could be used better in a book format because, I mean, you can take information reveals one line at a time. You take the piece of fiction at your own pace. So, I don't know. Mama's kind of just bored, and she says day after day I'm just doing this stuff and trying to make this potion. Mama's always got a keen nose as well. She smells gunpowder. Hopefully this place doesn't explode. Hopefully that gunpowder doesn't go off this episode. It all happens very, 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 very quickly here. I really like this from Kyo, and it's probably the closest we get to some levity in this 2-episode chunk as well. He has the best intentions, but he's still just a kid. Hey, I feel sorry for you that you're trapped in here at this time. I want to break you out. It's almost like I've seen a lot of spy movies or something, and I want to kind of replicate it. I guess read a lot of spy stories, you know what I mean? I'll distract the guard. You use the wire to lockpick your way out. It's like, no, it isn't this kind of show, man. And I don't know how to lockpick. What are you talking about? It's also like, run away? Where? What's the next step in the plan once you break me out? Where do I go? I'm at a stronghold full of guards, and it's the middle of winter. Where am I going? Mao Mao and Kyo get discovered here, even though Mao Mao is not involved at all, and kind of gets scolded initially by Sure and the guard. There's this tone to the conversation of, hey, let's not escalate this any further. Like, there's a knowing acknowledgement. There's a knowing look between the guard and Sure because they both know what Shenmei will do. So hey, keep this on the hush-hush unless you want both of these people to die and both of us to get beaten too. And then, this is the exact thing we didn't want to happen. They were just kind of walking past and saw this whole scene. I was trying to clock Shisui this entire time and see what she was doing, but kind of purposefully kind of obfuscate her face and that kind of thing during this scene. Again, she's like really freaked out now. Again, she knows her mother. She knows what she's going to do there. I need to think quickly of something I can do to literally save Mao Mao's life. There's also the element of Kyo's mother here as well. I guess I'll let the scene play out. Kyo calls out to her, Okasan, and she does not look interested. Eyes kind of glazed over. I cannot even go over and embrace my own son. I refuse to do so. I think there's two elements to this. One element could be, again, I'm so far under Shenmei's thumb that I can't go and embrace somebody that's clearly done something bad and is being punished for it because I'll be punished myself, right? Like, even though it's my own son. So much stuff about, again, parent-child relationships during this whole show, really, and not being able to do that because of political means, that doesn't feel correct. The other one could just be that she's like hopped up on drugs and eyes are glassy because of it, doesn't really even know where she is. I don't know, we're never really explicit about what the fucking drugs are, but I'm pretty sure everybody in there's on drugs and having sex and partying and whatnot. I think that's the idea. So yeah, worst fears are confirmed. She's going to like take these people that have been naughty and punish them. If the fucking fingernails here aren't an indicator of your life on the line, then I don't know what is. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even mention this part. It's heavily implied I'm going to kill your kid and you still don't do anything. That's even worse. Fucking Mother of the Year over here, Jesus Christ. Now, okay, this is the point of the scene, and this is what I really, really like. Big, big, big moment for Mao Mao, right? I don't need to reiterate it. She has a huge thing in the show about, like, this doesn't concern me. Should I stand up? Should I use my talents? Should I... Or is that just is it going to get me killed? Is using my talents and standing up for the people that I care about and all that side of it, is that worth it ultimately? Like, that's this kind of dilemma that she's going through constantly in the show. And again, I'm happy we're landing on the side of, hey, yeah, it is good to feel things. It is good to use your talents. It is good to bloom. It is good to take risks. Even if, again, it could get you in danger and could get you killed. Like, Shenmei is unrelentingly violent and evil here, and Mao Mao stands up and takes the punishment for both the guard and Kyo here, who, again, come back around later and help her in, kind of her escape. Like, imagine if Mao Mao was still just stuck in that fucking room. I don't know, she couldn't have did anything, really. She couldn't have impacted the rest of the plot. The only reason that came around was because of her actions in the here and now, basically taking the bullet for these two, saying that it was her idea, and again, taking the slap, taking the punishment accordingly. Of course, this is reflective of Shisui later in the episode, who is literally putting everything on her back, her own pride, everything to fix her mother's mistakes. Like, that's the idea here. Was she call it Kuso Baba? I think that's insulting. Let's say it is. I'm imagining that Baba part of it all is probably hitting a little bit, little bit different for you. I don't know, big complex about your age, of course. What is this thing that she's beating people with? Like, what is that? I don't understand. It's like a big lollipop. I don't understand. Anyway, Mao Mao takes a beating. Lucky she doesn't get the water chamber. This is where Shisui comes in clutch as well and suggests the Taibon. I can't believe I used to think that Sure was like a villain. She's just, standing up for us as well. Saying that this punishment's too much, blah, 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 blah. But again, you're talking out of turn, all that kind of shit. Licking the wound here's crazy. And now I remember this. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, everybody's trying to sacrifice each other for each other, and it's really nice. And I like how sympathetic you are to Mao Mao, and you're still you haven't shied away. Even though you know what the consequences will be, you still try. I don't know, it's really, inspiring. It, warms the cockles. And yeah, obviously, the licking of the blood here, so much of a complex about bloodlines and who's related to who and whatnot. So, I mean, this line here would imply that you know who Sure is, or where her blood has came from, right? Cool. That would also imply that you know what the deal that Shisho and the late Emperor was. That now tells me that you know that and you don't care regardless. You're like, I would have rather not known this and not have Shisho cheat and not have this kid over here. I would rather be stuck in the rear palace and not have that stuff. That's insane. I'd rather be in prison forever and not be free than be free to have this happen and have you exist. And again, we're going to unpack that next week. That's surely you're going to end up being a little bit more sympathetic than you're seeming. I don't know. Some bad shit must have happened in the Rear Palace to her, man. Bad. The use of that line again as well. I guess we have another idiot over here. When Mao Mao says that she herself is an idiot for standing up in this situation too. And then we have a third idiot coming in here with Shisui suggesting the Taibon. And now it's all clicking into place, right? Big puzzle piece. Just put it into the puzzle. Feels good, right? Sure and snakes. It's clear that the Taibon has been used on her a lot. A lot. To the point where she has a massive fear of snakes because of it. Yeah, she hyperventilated seeing one in the fucking forest before. And again, her freezing up hearing the word Taibon as well. Yeah, but this is great from Shisui, because this is the worst punishment possible as shown by its effect on Sure, right? That's what Shenmei's thinking, right? This is the worst punishment possible. What a great suggestion, Loulan. But Loulan has the knowledge that Mao Mao's different. Mao Mao was grabbing at the snakes before, previous in the show. She doesn't care about the bugs either. It's great. It's each person here has different strengths and weaknesses, and we could abuse that. We can circumvent the system by doing that too. Very, very smart. So now finally, Mao Mao imprisoned, Taibon activated, And again, everyone's like so sorry. Everyone's like, oh, sorry I have to do this to you. I'm under orders, blah, 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 blah. As soon as I see the creepy crawlies and the snakes and stuff, I'm like, Mama's got these motherfuckers covered. Just truly, truly fantastic stuff. Love how we turn the tables here. What is essentially the worst punishment possible into a strength. And there's something about, again, the poison, the cure, the flower, the everything there, right? It's good. It's fitting well. One person's poison's another person's cure. Mau straight up barbecues these motherfuckers. Like, dead ass. Yeah. Cooking all the bugs, too. We were eating bugs early at the festival. It's all clicking. It's good. Does Mau just always keep, like, herbs on her, too? She's very, like, useful. She's handy. Now, am I dumb? What is the jade ornament? Can somebody remind me? I feel like it's a thing from a previous episode or something. I forget this, unless this is going to come back later. Again, putting the pieces together, that is one of the final times. Like, Kyo-U tells the guard to go check on Mau. That's the only reason that he opens the door. Kyo-U then quickly goes and sees Shisui, who then poisons him. Cool. That's how our timeline's working. Sure is also present in this scene over here too. She very quickly after this gets punished and gets trapped in the closet. Like it's putting together, because this all happens very quickly, putting together where certain characters are at certain times is kind of fun. This motherfucker here starts talking about gunpowder too. I'm going to run over and look at the gunpowder. I don't know what Mama's thinking here, but she wants to go see the gunpowder. Yeah. I legitimately told you not to go that way, and you're going that way regardless. That's kind of funny. I guess Mama's just a work health and safety officer, because she's just like, there's not enough ventilation here. It's going to cause an accident and or injury. I'm going to fine your company. Something like that anyway. Yeah, I'm still confused. Why does Mama go over to the gunpowder at all? Because then, obviously, Shisui comes in. She's got her own set of motivations. We went through that. Blowing it up, saving all the workers, that kind of thing. Big bag of money too, based. Walking in with the briefcase full of cash. What is Mama doing here? I do not understand. Now, really, really loved this about the episode. This is the first time we've really seen Loulan act like herself. Or Shisui act like herself, as opposed to acting like Loulan. Loulan is the perfect doll. Loulan is the makeup. Loulan is the facade that I put on in the manipulations of my mother. This is the Shisui we know and love, coming through all of that regardless. Coming through the makeup, coming through the costume you have on right now. Really think the facial expressions and the animations, even some of the voice inflections there, do a lot for that. Again, we show off this dual personality in a really satisfactory way. It's really, really cool. She seems really caring. She seems like the Shisui we know. So then, yeah, gunpowder goes boom. We find her outside, and we commence... Yeah, again, like 8 minutes of straight just yapping. Now, there was a comment at the very start of the video about how there's a very touchy-feely, caring relationship between Mau and Shisui. I'm seeing it a little bit more now. I'll give you some more slack. I don't know. I don't caress the faces of many of my good friends. Let's put it that way. I don't know. It all depends on if you fucking live or not. I don't know. Pretty sure Junshi's still fucking endgame. Anyway, it's funny. Like, look at them. They can't fucking get off each other. It's insane. We also have hella bisexual lighting here. This is crazy. Another very important moment here. Shisui's like, I've still got stuff to do. I've still got responsibilities here. And walks off up the stairs. Mau just follows, not even saying a word. This is not something that Mau in the first episode of the first season would have done. Progression. She's blooming. It's nice. Sometimes it's good to be an idiot. I don't know. It's good. And yeah, I'm not going to repeat myself about what the plan is here. Loulan as a doll. I think there's a lot to be said about the use of makeup, right? So when I was playing Servant Girl and doing that side of it, right, my mother would come over and still beat me because she thought I was a servant girl. She doesn't recognize me without the makeup that she's put on me. She doesn't recognize my own self, her own child, outside of her function in my plan, in my overall scheme, which is very sad. That is extremely sad, for sure, for sure. Oh, I'm thinking as well all the way back to the Loulan introduction scene back in season 1. It almost feels like a funeral procession, very muted colors, very cold, very wintry. It's all just matching beautifully to the story that's actually being revealed now. I feel like that's, again, really well written show, man. It's really good. Despite the beatings, you still wanted to go see your sister. Very, very cool. And then, yeah, this is where we get into the reveal about the extra generation there. My sister's mother was also bullied by my mother, and it killed her. Yeah, okay, that's tracking. And yeah, this character here, Sure, that didn't clock for me, like, initially. It didn't click into place the way it should have. Yeah, I put your mother in a fucking box. Now, Mama makes... Mama's so frustrating, man. Again, I know why, but still. Her not being able to make the Jinshi connection and her jumping very quickly here and saying, oh my god, Sure has royal blood. Like, how do you put that together and not this? Like, that's insane. Oh, no, it's very convenient. It's very funny. Oh, clearly Taiho's going to have a huge part in this too. Okay. Taiho is the lady-in-waiting of Shenmei. I forgot that side of it, right? So, again, the whole idea of being a consort in the rear palace is, again, you want to, become the emperor's wife or whatnot, right? You want to be the one chosen. And clearly, the emperor chose Taiho instead. Maybe that's where the age complex comes into it. Yeah, okay. Sure. Just this overall thing of not being chosen and that bloodline going all the way down to Sure, that's where the scorn comes from for her. Not, again, that it's justifiable, but I understand the why now. Okay, I forgot the Taiho stuff. Yeah, for sure. Musical direction here is really good too. The music cuts out of the scene as we open this door, and you say, I am my mother's daughter after all as well. It kind of... Okay. Because we're about to walk into a bunch of kids that have been poisoned. So I'm my mother's daughter after all, as we're approaching the door where Mao Mao is going to figure out what I've done. And the music, the dramatic music cutting out, and there's this real tension there. That's great too. That's wonderful. Again, I'm not going to reiterate the you can be the new Mother Royal stuff, Loulan being used as a pawn. We've gone all through that already. And yeah, I mean, moment of the episode here, right? Where essentially Mama's turning to her to say something, right? And it's like, okay, which name should I use? Should I use the Loulan name, which again is like the name of my role in... Okay. The Loulan name is... It signifies my usefulness to my mother. It signifies my doll-like status. It signifies all that kind of stuff. She probably fucking hates the name. She probably had a lot more fun in the Rear Palace when she was called Shisui, right? It's also the initial name of her sister as well. There's a lot in that. I love my sister so very much, One-sama, all that kind of stuff. I want to be called Shisui. I'd rather be called that. Even after all these reveals, even after all of that, Mao Mao's still making the decision to call me by my initial name. Somebody found out all these secrets about me, all these, things going on under the hood, and they still see me as a person. They still see the me underneath all the makeup, underneath all the costumes. Hugely significant moment, and again, paired with a really great piece of animation here too. As we turn the head, slowly, surprise there initially in the eyes, then care, and a little bit of a tear right there. Yeah, just a little bit. Classic, like, anime tears too. Love to see it. And imagine what you're thinking now too. I'm about to open the door to a bunch of poisoned kids, and again, Mama's opinion of me may change even then, but even now she's still on my side. It's really cool. It's nice. The other one as well, people were talking about it way back when I was watching that episode. It was like, pay attention to that Shisui story, the horror story that she tells. And yeah, as we explained here, it's a pretty apt metaphor for how she feels. I think I'm an insect, trapped in a cage, bringing people in unknowingly. Somebody could unpack that for sure. It's a real, I see myself as the monster, and I want to prevent myself from becoming the monster. That's why I use the abortive medicine as well and all that kind of stuff. It's just good. It's really good. I love that as well, right? So, Mao Mao, you're really smart, right? I'm glad that I brought you here, and then we open up to the kids. Okay, Mao, I now understand that you're smart enough to read between the lines here and see what I've actually done and save these kids' lives. Which is weird. You didn't really bring Mao here. You didn't want Mao to come here. Weird. I thought part of your plan would have been bringing Mao here too. Huh. Odd. I don't know. Weird. Now here's another thing. If it's what I think it is, and again, it's the resurrection potion that we've given the kids, why don't you just tell Mao that? No one else is around. We don't need to talk in riddles. Just say that. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know. Should she just kill a bunch of kids? It was medicine. It was better for them to die like this, drinking some sweet juice, rather than getting killed by the rest of everybody else. I don't know. Both would be a pretty swift death, you'd think. Which again makes me think that it's a resurrection potion, and we've actually let these kids survive. That's the idea, I think. I don't know. And that's basically the end of the episode. I don't understand the line as well. Maybe Kyo knew, but he still drank it regardless. I guess because he wouldn't know. He doesn't know everything, but he might have known that something was up. That something was up with this drink, and I may not see Shisui again. Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say. I don't know. Certain character motivations are being skipped over pretty heavily here, it feels like. You kind of just have to fill in the blanks. It's a big clusterfuck of who knows what at what time and what information they're acting on. It's weird. We start the next episode in the exact same place with Loulan starting a little bit of a monologue here. I never wanted to bring you here, Mao. I made up the story about you being the new apothecary so that my mother didn't kill you immediately. She's pretty brutal. Dad says she used to be like chill. She's definitely not chill now. I've never known her as a chill woman, so we're gonna get that context next episode. I swear to God we are. And yeah, Shisho as well, right? He never pushes back, he never judges, he just waits forever for her to forgive him, but I know my mother and she'll never do such a thing. Again, that's this call later in the episode to Shisho to say, hey, stand up for yourself, hey, take responsibility of what you had to do to get her out. It's all tied together. It's good. So again, that Shisho stuff is coming too. So I think this is where my resurrection potion theory is coming from. This line, right? I don't want to be like my mother, who is less than an insect. She doesn't just devour the husband and leave the kids, for the next generation, that kind of thing, right? She doesn't even leave the kids. She beats the fuck out of the kids too. She beats the fuck out of everybody. I don't want to be like my mother in that regard. I don't want to devour my husband. I don't want to be this Black Widow type idea to the Emperor. I'm taking the abortives to prevent that. And I also don't want to, take my children out with me. I'm going to try to leave my children behind like a good insect. I don't know, something like that. That's kind of what we're saying. And again, in leaving the children behind, the mothers won't survive the winter, but the children will. That's where this resurrection potion idea comes in. Again, that's a fun thing to unpack as well. Shisui's probably doing a lot of this in... there's a psychological element of I disdain my own mother so much, I almost don't want to even become a mother, because the only mother I've known has been abusive. Again, could be the reason why we're taking abortive drugs or that kind of stuff. I don't even see a chance for redemption there in motherhood. If motherhood and everything that comes along with it, almost like femininity, if all that turns me into my mother, then I don't want any of it. Yeah, which is tragic, obviously. Yeah. Now, this part here I don't really understand either. I believe Shisui here is trying to frame it so that she's as separate as possible from Surei, to try to distance Surei from the plot, because Mao's going to survive, supposedly. Mao can lie and use that information and say, hey, Surei's not involved here, don't murder her, that kind of thing. So essentially just telling lies, saying, I'm not related to Surei at all, she's not related here, she doesn't need to die. Again, all the self-sacrifice stuff you've been doing. Yeah, my sister has nothing to do with the Shi clan. She does, even if she... doesn't want to, she does. And again, it's desperation, it's delusion almost. We've already clocked Surei as the person that did the initial assassination attempt in Season 1. She's on the hook, buddy. It's not looking good. It'll be interesting for Mao, because Mao's obviously got the Jinshi connection. It's basically the entire show. But now she's got all these other people on the other side that she clearly cares for as well. Sure, Shisui. How is she going to reconcile all of this as we move into the last kind of episodes of this season? It's going to be fun to see. I wonder how she's going to navigate it. Because, again, Jinshi has his own stuff that he needs to do to be a strong, emperor type, right? A strong royal brother, or whatever you say. I need to show power. Can I show power? Am I showing power by killing the friends of my friend? I don't know what you'd call Mao Mao to Jinshi. My crush? That's a fun one, we'll say. Yeah, and again, remembering this line, we've kind of gone through it. Insects never survive the winter, they only leave their children behind. Hey, if they were insects, okay, this is when Mao Mao kind of clocks what's happening here. I see it now. That's why she brought me here. And I think we're following up on that stuff by the end of the episode. Oh yeah, that was the subtext of that conversation there before as well. You want me to take Sure and go as well. Okay, well I didn't feel like that's expressed very well in the subbing. But anyway, that's, again, just throw it all away, escape with Sure. This is the other moment similar to the moment from previous episode where she kind of takes the punishment for something that she didn't do. Again, Mao Mao's continuing here to stand up and make idiotic decisions, not the logical decisions, emotionally driven decisions, coinciding in her flower blooming and all that other kind of stuff, by grabbing the hand of Shisui as she tries to escape and, take the blame all herself. Oh, wait, no, I misinterpreted it. She isn't talking to herself, she's talking to Shisui? You should just run. Yeah, okay, I'm dumb. It's fine. Hand up. You should just escape with Sure. But no, that's not how this works. It's my own responsibility. It's my own pride. I can't just run away anymore. I need to stand up to this. I need to stand up to my abusive mother that I've just kind of been a yes man to this entire time. Okay, that's fitting a little bit better. Okay, sure. Yeah, music's again really good because Mao Mao turns, grabs the hand here. Like, hey, don't go. Hey, you should escape. I still reach out to you. Don't sacrifice yourself. All that other kind of stuff that's, under the level in the conversation. The music's going, right? And then, again, it seems like this really impactful moment, and then she just pulls away. Like, no, I'm still going to do this. Despite your big, despite the declaration, I still have to do this, I don't understand this part about the unknown poison. Mao Mao, if there was an unknown poison in front of you and you were told you had one chance to drink it, what would you do? Swallow it in one gulp. Right, and then she walks away. This is my own personal poison to bear, and I must swallow it in one gulp. I'm finally ripping the Band-Aid off. There's still a few confusing things here, is my point. And then we get to the hairpin stuff. You're going to have the hairpin on you, which is probably going to help the situation with Jinshi later on next episode. Again, exchanging hairpins between these two, kind of like how you gave me one of your hairpins before. That's some nice symmetry too. It's mirroring, it's nice. This Tanuki stuff too, I think that goes all the way back to the masks. Also, we call Shisho the scheming Tanuki too, so, I don't know, again. That's more stuff. That's like higher level stuff. I'm only like here. It's higher level stuff. Let's calm down. So then, yeah, Mao Mao's going to handle the rest. We'll see. We'll pick back up on that at the end of the episode. Now we have Jinshi war planning stuff. Boring. He looks kind of cool, though. I don't know. There's also the narrator there just says, like, we go back in time briefly here. That's an example of what I would want a little bit more with the timing of stuff. Just the narrator saying, then a few weeks passed, or a few days have passed since then. I don't know. It would be nice for me. This is the most sus line ever said in fiction. You were extremely beautiful. Unfortunate that you weren't born a woman. Yeah, it's legal now. You can do that if you want. Like, if you want to. Like, you're not. You can. Anyway. Sure. If I was going to again be critical, I think that the other side of this kind of story arc, the finding out information about Shisui, Sure, Shenmei, all that kind of stuff, is way more interesting than the Jinshi side. The Jinshi side peaked with the scene in the graveyard with Shenlu, right? That's her name, right? Shenlu? I forget. The old lady from the clinic. That's where that kind of side of that stuff peaked. The grabbing of the face of Loulan's lady in waiting too. That was all good. Ever since it's kind of been like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go save Mao Mao. It's been a little bit snoozy. Like, I didn't even like us getting our our Tanya the Evil on and talking about war tactics for a bit. Like, I don't know. This is so clearly a desperate situation at the Stronghold, right? It's so clearly like there's an overwhelming force on one side versus another. It's less interesting to me. It's very clear that they're going to lose. There is the element of launching a surprise attack, the Royal Guard, a royal himself, okaying this. It's not honorable, all that side of it. Jinchi don't care. Jinchi's willing and able to sacrifice this side of it and his honor to save the prize that's in the Stronghold, right? Just wait, Mao Mao, Papa's coming to save you. Papa also executes a fucking avalanche on the building that destroys the armory. He's pulling out all the stops. I think we mentioned later on, or Lihaku does, that you did your back at a certain point so you're not on the battlefield. That's very funny. What an old man. That's, yeah, hilarious. So Papa couldn't come to save you indeed. We needed to send in fucking Giga Chat over there to do it instead. Cool, then Shisho. We've kind of talked about the indulging in hedonism stuff. The last days, the walls are closing in. Let's just live our best life, try to get as much pleasure as possible in the short time that we do have. Again, it's giving off cult leader for sure. And again, I've never really stood up to her. I've never really been able to. I've never really been able to stop any of this stuff. And now look at the situation that we're in. She gathers virtuous wives and child-raising mothers on purpose and corrupts them. That's kind of her vibe. Again, we will unpack your backstory, and as to the why, a little bit later. Sure. Using male prostitutes when we've kind of mirrored the Rhea Palace as kind of a brothel, or like a brothel, that's fun. It's a cool connection. I want to almost create a like role reverse Rhea Palace type situation for me in my Stronghold. That could be an interpretation. I don't know. It's all about power and the lack of power that I had in the Rhea Palace that I want to have over people now. Again, kind of skipping over this stuff. Kind of talked about it before. The tragedy of the decision that Shisho makes here. It doesn't really have the result that he ultimately wanted. It's almost like a devil deal in a way. Like, okay, you give me this. Monkey's paw almost. Like, you give me this, but it's not what I wanted at all. It's the exact opposite almost. It makes me yeah, like the target of the person that I wanted to save too. Like, there's a lot going on there. Question: does the late Emperor and Jinchi share a voice actor? If not, they're very similar. Anyway, it'd be rich if that was the case. I feel like that would be meaningful. Also, okay. Cool. Let me talk about this. Okay, back here, we hear an explosion, right? And then Shisho runs into action. He's like, I have to tell everybody. I have to see what's going on. And then he monologues for a bit and kind of recalls the late Emperor and all that side of it, right? And then fucking Loulan shows up and she's covered in soot. That doesn't make any sense because the timing wouldn't match. Like, Loulan covered in soot plus explosion happens like 10 minutes ago, and then you have your big conversation with Mao Mao, which takes like 10 minutes, and then you escape with the hairpin, and then you come and confront Shenmei and stuff. Unless that explosion that went off to start Shisho questioning it was a later explosion caused by the fire that was set. Sure. Or Shisho literally thinks about it for fucking 10 minutes here in this scene. Like, just before. He's like thinking about it still. I don't know. It doesn't match up to me. The timing's all fucking weird. It's all off. Anyway, this is Loulan's big moment, standing up to Mom. We slap this bitch too. We don't like her. You let your kid... that happen to him. I've also poisoned him. Fuck you. Die. Yeah, I just feel like this scene's a little bit off. Like, there's not enough momentum in it. There's not enough tension. The soundtrack's off. It doesn't feel like a rescue. It doesn't feel desperate. It doesn't feel the way it should, I don't think. It's paired with Shisho just kind of slowly questioning, this has been my daughter the entire time. How could I not know this? How could I not have noticed that my other daughter was being abused like this so very much? It looks like they've done this many times before. How could I have turned a blind eye to this for so very long? Like, it just doesn't feel correct tonally to me, which is fine. And then it's like, hey, Shisho, leader of the Sheik clan, the Tanuki, whatever, of the Fox Village, it's time for you to turn and stand up to Shenmei. And that's what's kind of happening, and this is where we kind of leave this scene for now. Yeah, as a final act, take responsibility for once in your life. You're the Tanuki master of the village, while I've kind of got the Tanuki soot going on. That's fun, that's really clever. Let's pull off one final trick. Now, the framing here makes it seem like that one final trick is the avalanche. That is not the case. The avalanche is happening because of Loulan. As we can see, everybody in this scene is shocked by that. I don't know, and then Jinchi sneak attack, everyone's panicking, the armory's gone. I'll deal with Shenmei, you do something else. Shisho is kind of where we leave that too. It's cool to see like some fighting and stuff. It's pretty like, it's the first time I've probably seen in the show like a wide-scale war. It's generally been a little bit more rear palace-y and closed off and stuff. We've hardly ever seen the front lines of, you know... It's fun seeing other sides of the society and stuff. It's cool. I also remember clearly now Jinchi practicing his sword fighting. He'll often do it when he's like struggling to sleep at night and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's because he had to do it because he as the Emperor's brother, kind of leads the royal guard. That's, yeah, okay. This is all clicking now, too. Yeah, this is fun, too. I guess we established this before. Lee Haku didn't know that Jinchi was... Is he stupid? Yeah, I don't understand that. Because Lee Haku's presence at the Shisho hunting trip type stuff, didn't that prove... Like, Mao Mao was there. Are you... I don't understand. Somebody make that make sense. How do you not know? How does anybody not know, honestly? If Lahan can figure it out, everybody else can. It's kind of just the worst kept secret in the Rear Palace. Most people just know, they don't say it. We've always had this kind of Jinchi Lihaku rivalry, I guess you would say, in a weird way, based off the season 1 stuff. It's never really been real, but it's kind of been there. So again, Lee Haku coming through and saying, hey, let me go on your steed. You're clearly important. There's a bunch of smoke in there. I wouldn't want you to die in a place like this. Let me go in there. And then he's like, no, I'm fucking not letting you have Mao Mao. The Grand Commandment Khan's daughter is being held in there. I take it as my personal responsibility to go and get her. I don't know. It's kind of fun. There's a rivalry here. That's the kind of... Oh, at least he thinks there is. That's kind of the subtext. It's cool. If you let her die, you will make a political enemy of Grand Commandment Khan. No, I just kind of want to see Mao Mao. And then, yeah, Jinchi and Mao Mao finally meet up again. It's all cute and stuff. I hope whoever comes in is reasonable. And then, this is so weird to me, because she should just know. And this is, again, irrefutable proof now that she does know, but it's like, it's not hitting the way it should, because you just should know already. And I guess, I don't know, they don't even say it. It's kind of obvious now, you know. Caught ya. It is fun to see them immediately go back into their roles as Jinchi and Mao Mao. Like, again, the querying of there being snake blood, your nonchalant kind of attitude towards the snake blood too, him being caught off guard by that. I don't know, it's kind of their dynamic. It's cute. As Jinchi goes to touch Mao Mao, I think to wipe away the blood or something like that, or touch her hair or something, somebody witnesses it, he pulls back his hand, and he gets called Crown Prince. Even though he's no longer the Crown Prince, it's now obvious that he's royalty. So then, yeah, they can't do their, you know, loving embrace. Mao Mao's been away for fucking weeks at this point. They can't do any of that stuff because there's witnesses. I don't know. There's clearly going to be a stronger Mao Mao and Jinchi reunification scene, probably upcoming in the next 2 episodes, you would say. One where they could be a little bit more alone. And then Lee Haku's very funny here. You look like Mao Mao. Are you Mao Mao? And then, yeah, he's back to being himself, too. He stops being so professional and I don't know. He puts on the same dumb face again that he has had the entire time. Again, we question this at the very end. Are the remains of the executed left to rot? No, they're cremated, then buried. Could they at least be allowed to rest with their mothers? That's not my job. It's like they're asleep. And then Lihaku calls for some people to come over. We can't just leave them here, right? I can't give them a proper funeral, but I could bury them nearby secretly. Wouldn't something bad happen if people found out? I don't know, if something happens, bail me out, okay? And then we blow a whistle for a signal. I think that signals to Lacan that you're okay, maybe? Getting you out safely was my job the entire time. So you've been kind of told to get Mao Mao out safely. I'll do what Shisui entrusted with me, which is take care of the rest. That's all. Blah, 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 blah. So we don't get any confirmation there, but we're talking about it so very much to the point where the kids basically needed to have drunk the resurrection potion, right? So they'll come back. Oh, I think that's what's happening. I didn't really get any answers there, really. I don't know. Again, this tells me that Mao Mao is going to let Shisui do her thing. Shisui's just going to do Shisui stuff. Let her deal with her own problems. I'm going to do the thing that she entrusted me to do instead. Kind of not really inserting myself in that way. Maybe I will by the very end of it. Jinchi's probably going to have a say. It's all happening. Yeah, weird. So in kind of finishing, I think certain parts of this arc have been really good, have been working really well. The story overall is good. I feel like the information reveal could have been better. It's confusing to me sometimes when certain characters know certain information. I feel like the timing's off a little bit in a few spots. But I think the emotions are there and the character motivations are there, and it's all very believable in the now. And it's very desperate. There's a tension to it. It feels important what's happening on screen. I'm a little bit torn on it, if I'm honest. I feel like this 2-episode chunk could have been a little bit better. But still very good. I'm enjoying it. And again, clearly we've still got another episode at least to clear up this arc in particular. But again, that's a next week job. Patreon, if you're seeing this publicly, you can watch that straight away by paying me $6. It's up to you. Like the video, subscribe. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching here today, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.